There remains much talk, much hope, and much confusion when it comes to the emerging medical promises of the cannabis plant. Medical marijuana, CBD oil, what's real, what's hype, what has shown promise? Well, there is a pharmaceutical company that's managing to navigate these tricky waters, so to speak, actually leading the way when it comes to developing real medicine based on cannabis. Joining us in studio tonight, the CEO of GW Pharmaceuticals, Justin Gover. Thanks for coming in tonight. We were just talking. You've been at this for 20 years, but still it kind of feels like we're getting to the dawn of all of this now and starting to understand some of the medical promises of cannabis. You've done the research, you've looked at this. What are you zeroing in on?
Well, as you say, for 20 years we've been looking at the properties of the cannabis plant. These are molecules called cannabinoids. And the first medication derived from the cannabis plant was approved last year by the FDA called Epidiolex. It's to treat some very severe forms of childhood onset epilepsy. And with that breakthrough, we're starting to look at other medical conditions for both CBD but other molecules from the cannabis plant as well, including in conditions such as multiple sclerosis, perhaps in pain, perhaps in psychiatric conditions. Really the dawn of a new era as far as we can see for this area of science.
You guys are focusing on some of those neurological conditions that are very rare, very hard to treat, maybe don't even have a treatment at all. Were the patients the ones pushing you in this direction, I guess? Were they saying because they were totally out of options, we might as well look at this?
Absolutely. This is a very unusual pharmaceutical enterprise in that it really came from patients asking for these kind of medicines to be made available and developed as prescription drugs. And what's key here is that the patients wanted a prescription option derived from cannabis there they could understand the composition of the product, the safety profile, which patients it would work in, and physicians have embraced this too. So what we're trying to do is tease out the real science here and provide medication options that physicians can rely on and patients can trust. And I think that differentiates this from kind of CBD oils and other medical marijuana type options that may be available.
I was going to say that FDA approval has to mean everything. It's simply, well, it's a pharmaceutical now and you're able to be able to dispense this. But it kind of clears up the confusion between what's myth, what's hype, what's marketing, and what's science.
Right, we believe passionately that the FDA are the body that determine what a medicine is and what it's not. And to get a medicine approved by the FDA requires years of study and investment in manufacturing as well as in trials that really get to the real answers. Cannabis and marijuana and CBD are not good for everything, and it's important to understand which parts of the plant are good for which medical conditions and to do the real science. And we've done that with Epidiolex, and we're really looking forward to be able to do that for other patient populations with other medications in the future.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're in town. You're talking with some of the folks here on the medical mile and whatnot, just drumming up support and some knowledge. And
absolutely. You have some amazing physicians here that treat epilepsy, and I've come here to Grand Rapids to meet them, to learn from them as well, and to see how we can help patients with epilepsy in this part of the country.
All right. Justin Gover is CEO of GW Pharmaceuticals, based in California. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you.